In the last episode, we were here in this nether fortress working on that wither skeleton farm, and I said I'd make a little bit of progress in between episodes, and indeed I have. When we last left off, this thing was only about half full of wither roses, and since it's kind of a boring process, I went ahead and finished it in between the episodes. So we only had about this little section of it done last time, and I went ahead and got about 3 more stacks of wither roses, and now it's finished. Only reason I didn't do it on camera is because I did in the last episode. It's just not that fun to watch. It's a bunch of killing withers here and then bringing a wither to the end and getting it to kill some chickens. But now that part of the farm is fun, and functionally it's kind of complete. If I stand here, all of the withers will filter into the farm, and this actually works, and I can pretty much stand here until a blaze decides to come and kill me, but the new wither skeletons won't spawn while I'm standing there, which is obviously kind of a problem, because if withers won't spawn, then the farm isn't gonna work. But if I can get them to, this works quite well. We actually already have 2 wither skeleton skulls, so I need to get something in the middle there that will act as bait while I am up above the nether roof AFK in there, so that the wither skeletons will actually spawn properly, and there's only one mob that will function for that, and that is a piglin. For whatever reason, wither skeletons really hate piglins. I mean, they don't like a lot of things in the overworld at least, but in the nether they're pretty chill with most mobs, like blazes and zombified piglins they don't care about, but normal piglins they really hate for some reason. The only problem is normal piglins only spawn in 2 biomes, that being nether wastes and crimson forests, and as you can see, this is neither of them, and the bordering biome isn't either. In fact, the closest one of those biomes is about 200 blocks away, and it's a kind of treacherous path to get there. You just have to fly really close to the lava, but this is a nether waste, and theoretically there should be some piglins here if I wait long enough to get them to spawn. Yeah, we have one right there, so I have to get some of these guys all the way back over to that nether fortress. And luckily to do that, it's not actually that hard. I don't have to get him in a boat or a minecart or anything, because as you can see, piglins do not like me very much. So all I have to do is dig a tunnel over to that nether fortress and then just like get him to chase after me, which theoretically is pretty easy, but in practice I have a feeling it's not going to be the easiest thing to get a tunnel from here over to that nether fortress, considering my current way to get there is to fly dangerously close to lava. Actually, never mind. It was quite easy to build this tunnel slash mostly bridge. The blazes are quite annoying as they try to shoot me off of it, but I'm just gonna hope they won't be too much of a problem. But this thing goes all the way back over to that nether waste, and there was a piglin behind that last time I was here, but there's not anymore. So now all I have to do is get one of like these guys down here to follow me up to that tunnel and then lure them into the wither skeleton farm, which naturally requires another little staircase thing, but we should be good now. Hopefully this guy will be happy to just chase me. Only thing is, these things, they don't like zombified versions of themselves very much. I mean, it's understandable. I don't think I would either, but I can't really get them to follow me up there if these guys are around, and unfortunately there's only really one solution to that, and that is make them mad. Although, I don't have any arrows, so this is going to be a little bit dicey to do that. There we go. Now I just get to sit here, kill these guys until there are a few of them that I can actually get a normal piglin to follow me up to the top there. Progress has been made. He is now chasing me, and I don't think there are any zombified piglins in my way. It's going to be a little bit more of a problem than it usually is if there are, because not only will they stop this guy from following me, he found gold. Okay, dude, come on. Stop being distracted by the money. We know you like gold. Oh, he chose to keep the almost broken sword. But yeah, the zombified piglins will try and kill me now, probably. So that could be a little bit of an issue, but we're just gonna pretend it's not. Actually, no, he seems to have forgiven me, so we're all good. And this guy got distracted by another golden sword. I thought I picked them all up. Stop getting distracted. Come here. Okay, we're finally on our way. He is chasing us quite vigorously, and we should be completely good to just kind of run along this path for a while now. Although I have thought of one other complication, which is this guy despawning. He's going to be far enough away from me when he's sitting down in the wither skeleton farm that he has a decent chance to despawn. Although there is one way to pretty easily fix that problem. Mobs won't despawn if they have an item that you've given them, and since this guy seems to really like picking up gold swords, I think he should actually maybe already already not despawn, I'm just gonna give him a golden sword, and that should make him not despawn because he like has my items and they won't despawn if they have your stuff for obvious reasons of the game doesn't want you to lose your stuff. But hopefully, oh no, he stopped carrying. Well, actually, that's probably a good opportunity for me to heal because I am now surrounded by blazes. But I just have to get that guy to fall into that pit, which shouldn't be that hard because there's trapdoors all around it, and mobs aren't very smart when it comes to trapdoors. Nope, that didn't work. Oh god, he's gonna die. Okay. Yeah, no, I forgot about the whole wither roses thing. That's kind of... he's on fire. Well, yeah, he's gone. Okay, I clearly need to make this end of things a little bit more effective. I kind of thought he'd just, like, fall in here, but clearly that is not the case. So I'm gonna make a little, like... some more blocks around that. Should fix the problem, and then I'll just go get another dude. Okay, attempt number 2. We've got another guy. He has a gold sword, although he seems to be cycling between 2 of them. He's very distracted, but I've stolen it from him, so now he should have nothing but a willingness to just follow me. So let's actually get this guy a path. It looks like he can climb up over here, and theoretically he shouldn't despawn because he already picked up a gold sword, and now we just have to get him to follow us all the way over to the Nether Fortress. Nope, he died. It's time for another one. I need to see if he will switch gold swords real quick, though, because I do need him to take one that is different than the one he currently has, so it won't despawn. And he will. Okay, cool. So now we are out of here, and he should just kind of follow us. Now we get to see if the netherrack that I spammed around this little opening will actually get him to fall in or not, and it's looking like a no. Why not? Also, I'm going to get hit by a blade. Yes! Thank you. So, okay, he's in. The farm is complete. Oh my god, because I was just about to get hit by a blaze. So I suppose let's go ahead and test this thing out. I already have an AFK platform up above on the nether roof, so I just have to get to it. It's that little bit of glowstone right there. And theoretically, if I stand here, it should pretty much just load in the farm itself and not too much of the surrounding land. I should probably spawn-proof it anyway, but I want to see how well it does without the spawn-proofing. So let's go ahead and sit here for about an hour. 1 hour of AFKing done, and now we get to go look at how many wither skeleton skulls we got. There was one problem there that you could probably see in the time-lapse, which is there were a whole lot of other mobs around the spawning platform because, well, I didn't spawn-proof any of it, so that kind of checks out. But we should still have gotten decent rates. But there was actually one other problem that I noticed while recording that time-lapse. It didn't show up in the time-lapse because it was actually a problem down here. This thing is what kills the wither skeletons, and obviously if they don't get down here, they won't die, which shouldn't be a problem, right? They just fall down the chute. Well, actually, this chute is just about at the perfect height that it turns out wither skeletons despawn when they hit the bottom of it, which is obviously a problem, but at least it's a very easy to fix problem. The thing is, when a mob gets more than 128 blocks beneath a player, then they despawn, or in any direction for that matter, and the end of that chute is just barely past that limit when I'm standing way up on that glowstone. So all I have to do is bring that glowstone down like 2 blocks and we'll be just fine. Although it does seem to have worked to a degree, because we have 8 wither skeleton skulls, which I think we would have gotten more if this was working properly, because a lot of wither skeletons died. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that, and then we're gonna AFK for another hour just to see if this thing works. Yeah, so the farm was definitely broken earlier, because we have 46 wither skeleton skulls now, and that is a significant amount more than the 8 we got the first time. That is including the 8, but it is still quite a lot. There is one issue with the farm itself that I'd like to fix real quick, and that is that these guys, if I wasn't here, I probably shouldn't have let them see me, but if I go hide away and then look at the farm, they kind of get stuck behind here for whatever reason. They don't try to go around because they don't actually think they can get there because there's no block here, but they theoretically think they can because there's a trapdoor on this side. So I think I'm just gonna like make it so they can't stand on that block, I guess. That should fix the issue. I guess we'll see if it works. Well, it's become like 10% uglier because I used a warp trapdoor, but it has become at least a little bit more functional, I think. I'm gonna go pop up over to the AFK platform just so we can get some actual wither skeletons spawning on this, and we will see if this works, which I'm really hoping it does, because having those wither skeletons there will really, I think, impact the rates when we actually spawn-proof everything. So now I just have to wait for them to spawn, which theoretically won't take that long. Okay, we got some wither skeletons spawning, and it seems like they're not getting stuck in that spot again. That guy totally would have, because he like bumped against this and then went around. So I think that is a fix that works, and it only takes away one of the spawning spaces, so I am completely fine with it. And now we can get on to mob proofing, because this farm works pretty well. 47 wither skeleton skulls an hour is not bad. However, it could be a lot better. If we turn on the spawning sphere around the AFK platform that's way up there, you can see that it does include this, and it just goes far enough down that it includes this thing. And this is actually a couple blocks more than the spawning sphere, which is why it goes so far down. But they won't despawn in there, but there's a lot of other stuff that's within this. So I have two options. Either I can use blocks like buttons or carpet to spawn proof all of these blocks so things don't spawn on them, or I can just get rid of the blocks. And I think I'm going to go for that option, because it's going to be a lot easier to just delete everything in this sphere than it will be to actually go around and make sure I have buttons on every single block. So I'm going to go ahead and mine all of this stuff away, and we're going to do it in a time lapse, because theoretically that should be really satisfying. Now that is satisfying. Just having the entire sphere be completely empty is absolutely amazing. I couldn't get it to show up in the time lapse, sadly, so it does look a little weird there, but this looks great, just to have nothing here but the farm. And of course, it also means our farm should be at maximum functionality now, except for one crucial thing that happened during that time lapse, which is the piglin is dead. He's not here anymore. I know what happened. A blaze tried to shoot me. He happened to be in the way, and then now he's gone. So I have to go get another piglin, unfortunately. So I guess I'm just gonna go do that. There we go, Piglin 2.0, and this one even has fancy golden armor. I'm gonna die if I'm down there. Okay, yeah, let's not do that, but he has fancy golden armor, and I even named him just for extra despawn proof ability. So now the farm should be fully functional, and I'd like to not be in the wither roses, but I'm gonna leave before another blaze kills that guy, and I'm gonna go up to the AFK platform and actually run this thing, because it is now fully done. So I want to do a proper test. I'm going to take all of the stuff out of here. Actually, I'm not going to take either of those just because my inventory can't handle that. But I'm going to go up there and we're going to test this thing out. But I don't want to just AFK for an hour this time. I am going to AFK for a full night because I want to have just the most insane amount of wither skulls that is possible, because this thing should produce like absolute crazy now that everything is spawn proofed. The only thing that should spawn is wither skeletons, so if we head down there, it should be quite the satisfying farm. Unfortunately, free cam is very slow, but yeah, there we go. The only thing spawning is wither skeletons. Everything else is just completely devoid of mobs, except for these endermen that are holding blocks. They can't despawn, so they didn't spawn there. They just are still around because they're holding blocks. There should be a couple of those around. There were the last time I looked, and I don't really know why. They just tend to pick up blocks and never put them down. But other than that, we should just get wither skeletons, although we're getting a surprisingly large amount of nothing, which is a little concerning, but I'm just gonna let it run for a little bit to make sure that's not an issue. Okay, it looks like we're good. It took a second, but now we are getting wither skeletons like pretty much just constantly going in there, which is good enough for me. I don't really care if there's some random mob elsewhere, because there clearly are, because we have like 10 monsters right now, and there definitely aren't 10 wither skeletons. My best guess is that there's someone up in like the ceiling somewhere, because there's a couple caves in here where they could spawn, but this should be really quite good. So I'm going to go ahead and AFK overnight, and we'll see how well it does. Well, we have a problem. I decided to check on our little wither skeleton farm before I went to bed, and there's a couple of issues. One of them I already fixed, which was we had an overflow of bones. All of these chests are full, and all I did is put a little thing here that trashes any bones that end up in this chest, just throws them right in the lava like I am about to be. I did the same thing with the coal as well. It's not quite full, but it will eventually if I AFK for long enough. And the other problem is a little bit more significant. If we look in here, you can see this netherite sword that is being used to kill all of the withers is at about a quarter durability, a little less than even, which is kind of a problem. That durability isn't gonna last through the night because it's barely lasted the like 2 hours I've been running this farm. It probably took a little durability before that, but still a little bit of an issue. So I need to fix that one. It should be pretty simple. I just need to get a hopper to feed into this deployer and a couple more netherite swords. There we go, 5 brand new netherite swords for the system, and once this one breaks, it should just suck in another one, and it indeed will. Perfect. Now that one will not break first, but whatever. They'll all break eventually, so it hardly matters. And now I can actually AFK overnight, so I'll see you guys in the morning. 23 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. That is insane. I don't think I have ever seen that many in one place, like ever. Never. I have never had this many, because like I've built wither skeleton skull farms before, but never one that I actually like spawn proofed stuff. This is insane. That's so many. Okay, I'm gonna go turn these into nether stars. But of course I'm not going to be killing all of these withers by hand, because that would take like years and also probably a decent bit of my sanity. So I have my wither skeleton skulls, and I've got a whole lot of soul sand, and the idea is if you place a wither like just down under the end portal here, withers can only not break two things: bedrock and actively extending pistons. Pistons are a little bit harder to get to do that constantly, but bedrock, you can trap a wither under there pretty darn easily, and he just can't really do anything about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn a bunch of withers under this portal and then kill them. So cue the montage. No, actually, the footage corrupted, so there will not be a montage. Well, I now have 7.5 stacks of nether stars, which is probably a bit more than I will ever possibly need. But, you know, I kind of decided to do that many. I do regret it a little bit because that took 5 hours to kill. Let's see how many withers that was. Yeah, just about 464. It's a decent amount. So yeah, that was, it's good. That's this project done, I'd say. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. We finished off the Wither Skeleton Farm. Really happy with it. And also, I'm actually going to go ahead and end this series here. I'm kind of out of ideas to do. I wanted to do this one for the sake of just like, it was something that I thought I could improve with the crate mod, and indeed I did, even though not that much. So yeah, I will be starting a new series soon as the crate mod for 1.20 comes out. But until then, really hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it too, and I will see you later.